for $658. Do you recommend a travel agent? Have we exchanged money? Are locals friendly? I honestly, no, yeah, we don't have to go to Inter. I already know where you're gonna go. What is something I should know about before going? How much did we spend? Oh shit. Tiré toda la sal, manches. Finally, the Euro finances, and we had to do it nowhere better than Taqueria Chicali. We came in here and we're like, you know what? We want to have a mukbang, and what better place than having some tacos? So look at this.
My mouth has been getting super watery, guys.
I know, we've been prepping like to make sure that everything looks good, and I was like, I want to eat already. So let me take my first bite.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. So we're trying what we ordered?
I've never tried it. They're so good. Serranos. They're spicy for you or what?
That was good.
All right, let me tell you guys my order. So I got one vampiro. I got a quesadilla. I usually never get a quesadilla, but I decided to get one today. And I got a taco de asada. They're all asada. And
Yadira's an asada girl.
I am an asada girl. And I got some pinto beans that they always give too. They're bomb. And then I got a water bottle, of course, because I only drink water with my, because I drink water with my food. I don't care what anybody says. Like, we got some serrano chiles too. And this is the first time we tried them. I don't know why some antojaron. Some lady had it. And I was like, I want to try them today.
That was really bomb. Now time for mine. Always, it's definitely a must getting tacos de tripa doradas. That's like my go-to tacos, and vampiros. Those are my main tacos that I get. So I got two vampiros, un taco de tripa, y otro taco de al pastor. So bomb.
Can I have one of your al pastor? I haven't had a pastor in such a long time.
$20 on the table right now. We're gonna leave with Yadira having a mancha on her shirt.
Boy, don't be putting that into it.
I already know. It always happens.
Let me scoot up.
But back to the main reason why we're here for you guys, and that is for the finance video of everything we spent out in our Euro trip.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it where I'm gonna be eating and I'm gonna be talking, so I'm gonna try my best because I've never really done a mukbang. All right, guys, let's just get it straightforward. All right, I have a list for you guys. I also asked you guys some questions, so just to kind of tell you guys how the video is gonna go is I'm gonna do the finances. So I'm gonna tell you guys what the most expensive things were. I'm gonna explain to you guys how I got it, and then at the very end, I'm gonna answer some questions that you guys have, like questions that everyone's been asking. So we're ready. To start off, I am here to tell you that you do not need more than $4,000 to go to Europe. Like, $4,000 is pushing it already. Just know that you're safe here because you have a cheap girl that's gonna save you guys money, okay? To start off, we got our flight round trip from Phoenix to London for $658, which to me was super cheap because I know people that have paid that price just to be within the United States. So anytime that someone tries to book me a flight and it's within the United States for that price, I'm like, absolutely not. I went to Europe for that price.
Super mind-blowing to me when I hear people say that they spend at least over $500 for a flight. And I get it. If it's last minute, I give it to you. Understand, that's 100% your fault. All right, you waited last minute. So something that we usually do, so a little tip for you guys, anytime we get invited to any trip, we always ask, when's the date and are you sure? Because we're gonna get those tickets for that date. And we get it literally like the next day.
Yeah. For example, another example is when we went to Peronocci's wedding, I paid $150 round trip from here, right? From here.
Yeah.
$150, which is super cheap for it being flight to Mexico and Guadalajara, because it's a pretty big city. And everyone that we were talking to, they were all saying that they paid like thousands of dollars. I'm like, girl, there's no way. But I also booked the day that Adriana sent me the invitation. I was like, I know I'm going to this wedding, so I'm buying my tickets.
Another example is when we went to the Houston trip.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
I don't remember how much I paid.
A lot of people paid a lot of money, and we paid like $200.
Honestly, just book them in advance. If you already know you want to go and you're sure, but just book in advance. If you're still thinking about it, I guess it makes sense. So that goes into my next topic. A lot of people were asking me how much in advance should I book. There's not necessarily an ideal time because if I'm being honest with you guys, I've looked at flights 6 months in advance and they're super expensive, and then I look at them 2 months in advance and they're super cheap. I would honestly say that if it's in your mind, if you've been thinking about going to a trip for a specific month, just keep your eyes on the flights, and whenever those tickets drop, just get them, because it's a possibility that they only dropped for that day. I always love to check, to look for my tickets on Google. I know it sounds so basic, but I swear that that's where I find my cheapest flights. Adrian used to book with like Orbit, Booking.com. There's a bunch of apps like that, and don't get me wrong, we've found some pretty good deals, but I would always say just always check back with Google. So go on Google. Sometimes what sucks about Expedia though that I've experienced is that if you want to cancel your flight, you actually have to go through the third party. So you can't call American Airlines directly, which I think it does suck. That was actually one of a problem that we had on one of our flights. So I would always just recommend to go through Google.com. I want to say that Southwest and a few other airlines don't advertise on Google, so you might have to go directly to their site. But for the most part, they're pretty good. Another little quick information about Europe is flights within Europe are so cheap, insanely cheap. Like, let me just tell you guys that from London to Amsterdam, we paid $70 or $80. I can't remember the exact price to go, like one way. And that's actually a little bit pricey, because when I went back in 2019, and I've even looked at flights for other dates too, they're usually about $40. So they're super cheap to travel within Europe. And you can also take a train. You can also take like there's other ways to get around. From Amsterdam to Spain, it was like $100. It was also a weekend, and we were being very, very picky with the times. So that's actually like us splurging, like $100 and $80. That was us splurging. Yeah. So usually $80 to $100 is actually usually a lot for it being Europe. You can get super lucky and find some for $40, $50. So don't even worry about what you're gonna spend when you're in there. And another thing that I would say is usually like the times that we've gone, it's usually cheaper. So I would say that if you're looking for flights in December, if you're looking for flights in the summer, just be prepared for them to be expensive, and be prepared for everything there to be expensive. If you really want to save money, I would say go in February, March, April are really good dates. And also check when Europe has vacation. My friend actually just told me that usually when Europe is in vacation, it's actually cheap to travel within Europe. She told me that in October.
There's a certain season then?
They have like a little break. So I'm not sure about that, but just kind of
February?
No, in February they're cheap everywhere. Like anywhere you want to go, it's gonna be cheap.
Yeah.
Another tip that I would give you guys is if you guys are looking at flights and from where you're from, it's still super expensive. Look on surrounding cities around you. For example, we live in Phoenix, and usually flights from Phoenix sometimes can get a little expensive. So we have traveled to like LA, and we've looked for flights from LA to like London or from LA to New York, wherever it is, if it's convenient, of course, right?
Yeah.
But just kind of keep that in mind. If you have a city that's close by and it's not too far, and it's worth.
Tokyo.
We did that with Tokyo. Tokyo, we only paid $600, but we traveled over to Las Vegas, which is about 4 hours from us, but we literally saved like $300 going out there, so it was definitely worth it. It was definitely worth it for us, you know?
Yeah. If you're those people that like don't like driving those extra 3-4 hour, drives out of the state that you're in, then it might be a hassle for you. But for somebody like me, for example, who doesn't mind, those type of drives, I think it works out. I think it's perfect. Then you save money, so that's good.
Let me eat my food, because girl, I haven't eaten. I've been just talking. Yeah. Did you like the chili, or was it spicy for you?
No, that guy gave me a little kick. But it was good.
I love chili, guys. Damn, you're already done with your food. Keep in mind that Adrian's a slow eater, so I'm really taking forever over here.
How can you handle that shit, man?
Dude, I finished the whole thing.
What the fuck?
Nothing, like no me pica para nada. Like I'm not even trying to act cool. Act cool.
And I feel like I took like the most babyest bite ever. You know like that SpongeBob movie, the SpongeBob?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I went from not eating no spicy food to like Serrano all day. All right, going into topics with Airbnbs, we kind of have them all over the place. I've never stayed in a hotel. We always go with my brother, so it's more convenient for us to just get an Airbnb and to just have the Airbnb, to be honest. So this time around, we got an Airbnb, and let me tell you guys that this time around we got such good locations. So we paid more than what we were used to, but we did get the locations that helped us out because we didn't have to spend on transportation, which I'm going to tell you guys about in a little bit. For example, I think my top location was probably Barcelona, but we just love Barcelona, to be honest.
No, it was perfect.
Yeah, the location was so good. We were walking distance from everything. I think We only got a subway and a train and all that just because we wanted to go a little bit more to the outskirts a little bit. But we were right next to the big mall. We were right next to the old stadium of Barcelona. I thought the area was super cool. There were so many restaurants around too, so everything was walking distance, which I loved. So with that, what we did is the way that we look for these Airbnbs is that we kind of look for the main things that we want to do, you know? So if you say like, okay, my main thing in Barcelona is going to be La Sagrada Familia, and I'm going to go to Sagrada Familia like 3 or 4 times, then I would say look for a location that's within that time, that around that area, so that way you can just like walk to that place, you know?
Yeah.
Or if you're like, you know what, I'm going to see a lot of things, I would say look for a location that's kind of in the middle of everything and still close to like marquetas, still close to like restaurants, and usually like your Google Maps will tell you right away, or your Airbnb host will tell you like how far it is. My Airbnb host did such an amazing job of sending me an itinerary of everything close by.
All of them.
We do more like backpacking trips, you know? There's people that go to trips and actually like vacation. So take our advice with a grain of salt and just kind of understand that we kind of do a different type of traveling, which is like more sightseeing, more like being out all day. Like we spend little to no time in our Airbnb, you know?
Oh no, just asleep.
Yeah.
That's it.
But there is people that like, you know, like get up a little bit later and, you know, just kind of like go eat dinner and then go back home. Like it's more of a chill trip for them.
That is very true. I mean, no disrespect, but I find it weird, you know, because they have to go back home and just chill when there's like literally another country that you don't get to visit very often. But again, I mean, to each their own. But I think it's cool to like experience those little things, those little transits that you get to one place to another. And to be honest, guys, they don't even take long. So it's super easy to follow. Like just go on your maps and it'll literally show you everything. But we'll get into that a little bit more when we get to that topic. But yeah, places are not far. You just like, again, look at the places you want to go to, try to find areas around it, or if it's not around it, it's okay to go outside of that jurisdiction as well.
And the cool thing about it is that usually when you stay within that area, I feel like it's a little bit safer because they know that it's tourism. And I mean, although it sounds like there would be more pocket pickers, what is it called? Pickpocketers, right? There really isn't. I've never really experienced that. So another thing that I would honestly say to look at too, just make sure that there's at least, if for whatever reason you can't find the perfect location, it's not close to what you want to see, it's not close to any restaurants, then I would say at least find a location that's really close to like trains, buses, like all of the transportation you're going to be taking, at least that it's close, because it would really, really suck for you to have to walk 30 minutes, which happened to us in Tokyo, for you to have to walk 30 minutes just to get to the train, or you being so tired that you're like, I'm just going to call an Uber. We would walk 30 minutes every single day, and we were in Tokyo for about 7 days. So every single day walking 30 minutes, it was kind of getting tiring.
Oh yeah.
I'll kind of get into topic about Ubers, but you wouldn't want to Uber there either, to be honest. It just depends on your budget, to be honest. So I'm just kind of talking out of our experience. Last thing I want to touch about the Airbnbs is that I would say look at the reviews, check that your host is like super cool for many reasons, you know, because sometimes they're just nitpicky for no reason. And another thing too is check their check-in and check-out time. Sometimes they're super flexible about it, and sometimes they're super, super strict. And what would suck about this is, for instance, let's say you arrive at 7 in the morning and your check-in is until 4 p.m. Well, girl, you're about to walk around the whole city for about, what is that, like say 8 hours?
Oh, yeah.
About 8 hours? You're about to walk around with your maleta the whole time, so it's not worth it.
Nobody wants to walk around with their maleta.
Yeah, talk to your host, like see what you can do, you know? So that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the closure for Airbnbs. That's pretty much like everything. That's as much as I can tell you guys.
You know, keep in mind, we went with, it wasn't just us, we went with more people. So that helps you guys a lot. You guys get to split things. You guys like,
yeah.
So like the Airbnbs, for example, hey, everybody pitch in this, boom, 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 and it literally comes out to be the same, or if not, sometimes even cheaper than hotels.
Oh yeah.
And you get like a kitchen, a freaking like bathroom, showers, like, you know, the whole 9 yards, guys. So it's definitely worth it going with an Airbnb.
All right, guys. Up next is going to be transportation. I think it's like a fun topic. I'm going to kind of tell you guys what we did in every place. We did a lot of trains, a lot of buses, a lot of subways, a lot of that. I'm going to tell you guys how much we spent for every place, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Okay? In London, we spent $41, and it was because $20 was just to get from the airport to the main city of London. I want to say that's about an hour commute. I think it was a long commute. I might be wrong, but I'll have Adrian will put it right here for you guys. I want to say it's about an hour commute. So you're on a train and it takes you, it's an hour. I want to say it's almost 2 hours. I'm not even exaggerating. Like it's pretty far.
It was not that far.
No, okay, it's an hour probably. You do have to pay for a specific train to take you there. Honestly, an Uber would have probably charged you like $100 for that. So $20 is not bad at all. And then from there, London is very like location to where they don't really accept cash. So everywhere you pay with your phone, like you tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
So every time we would go on a new train, every time we would go anywhere, you would just tap, and it was like.
Actually, it's known for places like, for example, London. That there's a lot of places that don't even accept cash.
Yeah.
It's mainly just card or like your Apple Pay, which is crazy to me. Fun fact.
So every transaction was like $1, $2. They don't charge until the end. So you just keep tapping, 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 and until you're like done using it, which is like 3 days or 4 days later, they actually send you like a bill, which is like, for me it was only $21. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was the same.
Yeah.
Mine was $21. I didn't think that was bad. Like we were only there for like 2 days.
Right.
You know, but we did do a lot.
Yeah, we went to a lot
everywhere.
of places. That's actually where I was gonna get to, is that like that's probably the cheapest. I mean, the cheapest would be walking, but that's like the cheapest transportation you guys can get on. And honestly, you guys, it does not take long, and it's so easy. And being able to see, like, they literally guide you step by step where to go, how long it's gonna take for you to get there, like the stops and stuff. So yeah, it doesn't take much time, and then plus it's cheap. Like I said, like for those 2 days that we were there in London, we got charged like about $20, but we went to a lot of places, guys. Like we went to a lot of places.
Yeah, we did.
Definitely.
So honestly, I don't think it was bad at all.
And it goes back. If you guys want to save money, book an Airbnb where you have everything that's very nearby, so that you don't have to use a lot of those, a lot of the trains to get back and forth to where you gotta go. And maybe it's like right down the street. Like for example, our Amsterdam trip.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that.
You know, that's what happened with us.
Yeah. So in Amsterdam, we spent a total of $98, which is like the most we spent on everywhere. But let me tell you guys something. We got Uber there, and the reason why was because our flight from London to Amsterdam kept getting delayed, and our Airbnb host was actually waiting for us to give us the keys. So it was taking so long, so we're like, you know what, let's just get an Uber. It's probably gonna be the easiest and fastest thing to do, which we did, which was $53 there. And I don't remember how long the transit was, but I think it was like maybe 30 minutes.
Probably 30 minutes, yeah, you remember.
Yeah, and then on the way back, I don't know why it was cheaper, it was $40. The cool thing was that since we got honestly, this was the gem location. This one in Barcelona, gem location. We were right next to Anne Frank's museum. So we were close to everything, to the point where we actually paid for no transportation in Amsterdam. We were walking distance. Amsterdam is a lot smaller, and there's actually not a lot of attractions to see in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So there's not really too many places to where you can go to. So that was cool. I mean, it was a little bit more pricey.
We did do a lot of walking around though in Amsterdam. Obviously, because like I said, everything was around it. Literally, everything was right there. Like I grew some calf muscles staying in Amsterdam because of everywhere that we were going.
Just to know, the Uber was a split, so it was $98 per person. It was $98 the total. Tie into what Adrian was saying, like a lot of places, it's better to walk. Even it's funny because we have a scene in Amsterdam where Adrian's like a little bit drunk, and he's like confused he put in the address, and the address says that it was like 20 minutes away driving, and we were all like, oh, check how much it is walking, you know, because we were gonna walk. And then he was like, and I was like, it's probably closer, and then he was like, no, like
no. I was tripping. Like I was like, are these people stupid?
Yeah.
Like what do you mean walking? Like if it's 20 minutes driving, why do you even?
It's gonna be like an hour walking.
Like I thought it was stupid of me to even choose the walking button.
That was the funniest thing. I was the one that had us dying, because we'd be like, just click it, just check.
And I'm like,
we don't have to go. And he wouldn't want to click it, and then we're like, dude, do you feel like you went to another dimension or what?
Like I felt like as soon as I clicked it, everybody'd be like, that's pendejo, you know what I mean? I'm just like, hey, what the fuck? Like that's what I felt. I felt like everybody just started clowning on me, so I didn't want to do it.
For doing it?
Yeah, for doing it. And yeah, so whatever. I ended up, you know, eventually clicking it, and that's when I realized that, like, oh no, it's actually, you know, faster sometimes walking, because because a road can be like, oh, going around, and a walking distance is just straight, and you're cutting all that. So
well, keep in mind that Amsterdam is actually an all bike location. Like everybody rides a bike, so there's probably more roads to get on a bike and walk than there is to be on a car.
Yeah,
you know,
it's weird. But that's Amsterdam. So yeah.
Yeah. So for instance, the situation that happened here, where the ride there on a car was gonna be 23 minutes, walking was actually 10 minutes. Remember, it was like a crazy difference.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing about it, that it's actually closer to just walk. I know it doesn't sound fun to walk on a vacation, but honestly, we actually have a lot of fun walking, because usually you're a little bit drunk or you're just seeing so many things and you just kind of create so many memories. We just walked everywhere, to be honest. One thing that I do want to mention about Amsterdam is is that Adrian really wanted to bike ride, and if you're going to Amsterdam, there's something I want to tell you guys. They don't recommend tourists to bike ride, because the locals, I guess it's not a regular casual bike ride. Like, these people are going to work, like they're hustling, you know? So Adrian wanted to do it. He just wanted to lolly, you know? And everybody was like, no, like they're gonna run you over, and they're fast, huh? Like, I kept running from them.
Yeah, but yeah, they don't they'd be like 50 feet away, and they'd be like, no.
I was so scared of them.
Yeah, she was scared, but I think it's because of what they told you though. Like, Yadira's if you tell Yadira something, she's gonna keep it in mind.
They're fast. They're super fast. And actually, the first time I went to Amsterdam, somebody got run over with their foot. One of the persons that went with us, their foot got run over. So for Spain, we only spent $38. I do feel like Spain is a little bit cheaper.
Spain was definitely cheaper, because I feel like Spain is where we did a lot of stuff. We saw a lot of things there. What happened?
I could have sworn I left a little piece of chip, for my last bite. and I looked back, I'm like, where the fuck is it at?
You look at me?
I ate it, bro. No, I knew it wasn't you. I realized that I ate it.
That's funny.
Yeah, Spain.
I think we need to keep the video going. I think we should order some more food.
What the fuck? Are you fucking around?
Your face.
I was like, damn. No, honestly, I was like, damn, we do, huh? Like it's a mukbang. I had to eat. I felt like I had to extend my food, you know?
Man.
And I was like, fuck, but I'm a little full. But fuck, I gotta do it for the vlog. Spain was really cool. So we actually got this little card. I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna try to see if I can look for it. If we can put it right here for the subway. And we just paid it one time, and I think it was like $15. We were in Spain for the longest though. We were in Spain for 3 nights.
Yeah, 3 nights.
3 nights? Yeah, we were in Spain for 3 nights, and we used this little card, and that's all we used. And I want to say that we didn't pay for any other transportation other than that. So we spent anywhere around from $20 to $30, and we went to a lot of places. And the cool thing about that card is that we actually ended up testing it out on a bus, and not just the trains and not just the subways, and it worked. I don't know if they were just letting us go in, but it worked, you know? Yeah, so that's kind of the wrap up of transportation. I would just recommend, if you're trying to save money, I would do a lot of walking, a lot of trains, a lot of buses. Try to avoid the taxis and the buses.
Guys, and honestly, I think it's a better experience when you're walking to certain places, because there's a lot of things you see. There's a lot of you'll notice a little differences that the way they live life out there than they do out here. For example, Tokyo was definitely one. If you ever go to Tokyo, you're gonna realize that over there you will not see not one trash on the floor. It's fucking crazy. You can literally eat off the floor. I swear. And over here is wherever you go, you'll see a trash, all in the floor. Over there, no. And it's because they like to keep their shit clean. They take care of their people. It's crazy. I mean, the same goes along with other countries that we were at too. The way they do things, the way they. What's a good example we could tell them? In Amsterdam, I didn't know this, but in Amsterdam they have places for you to piss in. Right there in public, where we saw that guy.
Oh yeah, was that real?
It was, because I looked it up and it was.
No way.
Yep. And it's cool. So it's like a little cylinder.
That's kind of nasty.
It's like a cylinder that you walk in, like a steel cylinder. And think of a porta potty, but open. You can just see their head and then their feet, and everything else is covered up. It's so crazy. I was like, what?
So they saw this guy was in there, and then it was just pissing. And I was like, no way. And it was daylight. It was 1 p.m. We're like, no way. And then my brother was like, no, yeah, for real. So I guess Adrian looked it up and he confirmed it.
Yeah. So I don't know. We should start doing that here.
Things you wouldn't see if you were in a car. All right, guys. And the last thing that I have on the list before I get to the questions, the next one's gonna be food. And for food, as in cars, because we did take out cash. So as a food, in between both of us, we spent $352. However, we did take out cash. So I cannot remember from the cash how much we put into food and into activities.
Yeah.
We kind of spent it all over. To let you guys, I'm gonna actually answer some questions about the cash in a little bit, but we didn't spend much in food. We did eat, and we actually ate at nice places. We weren't eating at fast food restaurants,
Yeah, no.
We would just kind of eat whenever we would get hungry.
Honestly, it was little hole in the wall type of shop. You know what
I mean, I think definitely we could have ate a little bit more. So I think if anything, we could sum it up to 500 if we would have ate when we were supposed to eat, but we were so busy like walking around, and we were just like too excited to see everything. So that was about food. I don't have the exact prices, but tying into food that's kind of like similar is going to be the activities. We didn't do a lot of activities, I think there was a little bit more activities that we could have done, but we didn't do them because we truly love sightseeing. And then there is some activities I think we could have done, but we didn't think about them thoroughly because I think we're just so used to sightseeing that we were okay with them, you know?
Yeah.
But in regards to sightseeing, there was like a grand total of about like $214 to $300. And keep in mind that like these two prices that I just gave you guys, it's for both of us, not individually. So like one of the things that I can kind of tell you guys that I spent it on was, for example, Zara. Like I went shopping, there was no need. Another thing I want to tell you guys about activities, like the price that I'm giving you guys can kind of disregard them because you don't have to do these things, to be honest. But like I went to Zara and I got a jacket. It was $400. I mean, oh damn, girl, I wish.
What are you telling me right now?
I wish. I went to Zara and I got a jacket and it was $44. Adrian went to like a hookah lounge and it was like $26. We went to a park, which is Park Güell, which I 100% recommend if you're going to Barcelona. Please go there. It was only, so I don't know if I'm wrong. I'm gonna for sure put this here for you guys, but I checked my bank accounts. Adrian checked his bank accounts. We checked everything, and it was actually only $21. And I remember that for this one, we actually did pay together. It sounds super cheap, but we'll look it up to tell you.
Yeah. Because it was not expensive at all.
Yeah, and it was so worth it.
Yeah. Like, okay, let's be honest. Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you guys real quick. When I first got there initially, I thought all right, I'm not into parks, guys. And I know I'm not into like the whole botanical gardens type thing. Yeah. So when I got there, I thought that's what I was gonna be, like just a forest full of like flowers and stuff. But when I actually went in and I saw like what I saw, it was literally nothing that I expected. Like the view of the city was also there, which is amazing too. It was honestly crazy. It did blow my mind, which is cool. So if there was anybody that were to ask me where should I go visit, that would definitely be one place I would recommend.
Yeah, kind of note to you guys, don't get overwhelmed with like how everything looks and just kind of go through with it, you know? Just like don't get overwhelmed like, oh, I can't find this location, let's just go back to our hotel. Like don't do that. That was super close. We were gonna go to La Sagrada Familia. I don't know where we were gonna go. We were just gonna leave it. So I'm so happy that we saw it because once we saw everything, we ended up seeing these like vintage houses that like have been stuck in time. So from there we actually got the idea to go to Casa Batio and Casa Mila, which are two houses that are very popular, super nice. We were gonna tour them around inside, which honestly was not expensive. It was $30, right?
Yeah, it wasn't expensive.
It wasn't expensive, and they had a lot of cool things in there, but the line was super long, and that day we were actually gonna go watch the Barcelona game.
That's what it was, yeah.
Which I should tell you guys about that too.
Yeah, yeah. We should have gone in there, honestly, but that was the only issue, was that especially us, that we don't like to spend time anytime or waste time, sorry. We don't like to waste time. So we felt like by standing in line for both these two places that honestly we can get information like from YouTube or some shit. I know it's different walking in and seeing it in person, but as far as like financial wise, it wasn't that expensive at all.
Yeah, it was $30.
So I would recommend going in.
Yeah, and I think they had a mall in there. I don't know. It was pretty cool, honestly. I didn't want to go in there, but it was going to take too much time. So from there, then Casa Mila, we just kind of saw it from afar. It wasn't like, I didn't love it, but you should see it because it's right next to the other house. We didn't get, there's two things that I think we wish we would have gone to, and I think it would have definitely changed the price in our activities. We didn't go inside of La Sagrada Familia, and we did not go to a soccer game. La Sagrada Familia was actually not even expensive. I think it was like $40. But we didn't go into the Sagrada Familia because by the time we were looking for the tickets, there was no tickets until like the nighttime. Super late, like 9 p.m. I think it was. So we're like, okay, whatever. We're like, if we find anything sooner, we will go. So we actually went to go wait at the bar in front of it, and girl, we got drunk. So it didn't happen. We didn't even end up going. And then the football game, we really wanted to go to it, but dude, everything was sold out. Like there was people that were scouting us, and they were like trying to sell us the tickets, but we didn't have any more cash.
Yeah, we ran out of cash.
Yeah, by then it was already the last day, so we had already run out of our cash, so we didn't have cash to give them. And then he was like, oh, well, you can come to a bank with me, or like you can give me the money later. But it was just too sketchy, so we just didn't do it. My brother did get lucky though, and he actually did. He actually did have cash. I don't know what the heck he ended up doing. My brother did end up going. He actually paid $300 each.
4.
No, 3.
It was 3? I remember seeing 4. It was 4. It was 4.
My brother paid.
You gotta remember where he was sitting too.
Yeah, which were really, really good seats. If I have a picture here, I'm gonna put it right here for you guys. That he was sitting in a really good spot. Keep in mind, this was actually one of the championships, so it's a pretty big deal. And honestly, now that I think about it, for him sitting that close, I think that was pretty cheap. Because here in freaking the Suns, that might be losing. I'm just kidding. Now, if you try to sit in the front for like a championship, like you're looking at around like $5,000. We didn't go to that. I mean, we did go to the bars, and we just kind of like spent a little bit of money
guys,
there too.
Keep in mind these are things that we like. Just being out in a different country was already enough for us, to be honest. Like obviously there's a lot more things.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all in regards to like finances or like what we spent. I feel like we did a pretty good job at kind of like, you know, like not going too crazy. I feel like there wasn't really anything, if I'm being honest with you guys, there wasn't anything where we're like, oh, like I wish we would have spent our money on that, or like we should have just put extra dollars on that. I think we did pretty good. I think we wish we had more time, you know, to be able to like record everything for you guys. But I think we did pretty good. I think maybe the next time we go, maybe we'll just kind of like look a little bit more and like be very nitpicky to where we spend all of our time in. That kind of goes into one of the questions that I had on here that you guys asked me, which somebody asked me is like, do you recommend a travel agent? Right,
I think it depends. Well, go ahead.
I'll say no.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've never had a travel agent, so I don't really know what it's like. But I've talked to people that have travel agents, and they say they absolutely hate it. Because this person that I took, this person that I spoke to, they have already been to Europe, and they did not get a travel agent the first time that they went. The second time that they went, they did get one, and they said that like they didn't do much. The taxi driver is already outside waiting for you. You know, they already know. Like you don't have to call them. You know, your hotel already knows you're going in, you know, like everything's already ready to go for you. So I guess if you do have like the extra income, then yeah, I would say definitely get it, because maybe like it might make your life easier to where you're saving more and more time.
Yeah.
And this would go back into the sense where you can get a hotel and you can get it over because you have the money for that, you know. But I think if you're like asking like, is it required? I would say absolutely not. Like you don't need a travel agent.
How much is it for a travel agent?
I think like thousands for sure.
Oh, see, yeah, exactly.
And
I'd rather put my money into actually going to certain places that I've done my research on. I'm like, oh, this is a cool place I want to go to. Like I know, whatever. Like I know there's girls out there that want to go to a certain coffee shop that's going viral on TikTok. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's all the way to, you know, somewhere in London or Barcelona or whatever, right? Just going in, taking that photo, being in there, experiencing that place, knowing that it's so viral was already enough for a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like, where they're going with this. So in a way, you kind of don't even need like a travel agent to be like, there's this. Like you can do your own research and figure out what you want to do very easily, and then just write it on to where, you know, as one of your lists, and just go there.
Yeah, and I feel like TikTok is really helpful right now. Like it shows you everything, so you don't really need much of a travel agent. I also kind of wanted to tell you guys, somebody asked me if we exchanged money. We did. So originally we just kind of sent money over to our bank, so you could just call your bank and be like, hey, I wanna exchange money to like wherever you're going. If you're going to Europe, it would be euros. It would be going to Tokyo, be yen, right? So you would just tell them where you're going, and they would actually have the money ready for you before you go on your trip. It's pretty cool. I think it's the coolest thing, and honestly, you kind of save the hassle of having to change it, and sometimes it might be cheaper through your bank. So yeah, I would say exchange money. I wouldn't say too much. Like for example, us, we only exchanged 500, and it was because we were hoping to exchange more when we got there, right? We were hoping to like take out money and just exchange it, but for some freaking reason, those 500 was they freaking extended throughout the whole trip. Keep in mind, we paid with card. Everything else I told you guys was with card plus the $500 cash.
Like if we needed to, we have the card to use it, but the whole trip 500 for the that's insane. We were there for 7 days.
I for sure thought we were gonna have to cash out another
within those 2-3 days.
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't the case, guys.
Yeah, so I would say just do that with your bank. So that would be that question.
I mean, okay, so hold on. Let's say they go to a trip, right? I guess so, yeah. Just take out what you feel like you would be willing to spend out there for like that period of time, and just see how long that lasts you. You know, and worst case scenario, like
just take it out later on.
Yeah. Later on, as you get there, if you run out, then yes, definitely go and find a place for you to cash out money. But take away whatever you feel comfortable with. You know, that you're gonna be willing to spend out there. Depending on
qué tan gastona it is, you know what I'm saying? If you like to be like buying crazy stuff and you like to be bougie, then yeah, take out some more money. You know.
Yeah.
Another question that I got was what documents are required and are locals friendly? So what documents are required, as of what I'm aware of, the places that I've been to, I've only needed my book passport. If I'm being honest with you guys, I don't think that card is worth it. Like, unless you think you don't feel comfortable like taking your book everywhere and you want to take it, because as of what I'm aware of, you only need the card if you're going to be traveling like by land, and we don't really travel by land. Usually everything is flying. So I would just say, just take your book, just be careful, girl, like, you know. And I would just say like just go in and get the book. I think it's worth it. Are locals friendly? I think they are. part. Like, I honestly, no, we don't have to go to Inter. I already know where you're gonna go.
No.
I don't think we've ever had a bad experience to where like, OMG, don't go back to this place. Yes, Amsterdam, you know, there's like a topic about it.
We can throw it in here.
As you're filming everyone inside, can you ask permission of each and every one? Or delete the footage?
Yeah, so Amsterdam was like, you know, a little bit like that, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad enough for us to be like, I'm never going back to Amsterdam. You know, they're not mean. Sometimes, like, keep in mind that us as like travelers, we're bringing them in money, so they might like.
Oh yeah, no, but definitely like Amsterdam was actually the only place that we had just that little experience. Everywhere else was honestly amazing. The people in London, like what I liked about London is that people out there, they're like they're very, how do you say it?
Proper?
No, not proper. They're
educated?
No, they're street. Like, they're pretty hood out there. Like they talk like they don't give a fuck. They'll cuss, you know what I mean? They malhablados, is that how you say it? Yeah. That's how they are. But they were nice. Like they're like
yeah, super nice.
You know your typical tias and tios that like talk shit, but they're like son cariñosos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how they are.
Yeah.
And in Spain, what I realized is that they're actually just friendly. Like they're really friendly. If you ask them a question, they'll help you. They'll be happy to help. Like I've had my camera out and they'll be like, you know, like get in the camera and shit, or like they'll talk, they'll like ask me questions. And Amsterdam was the only place that they didn't do that. But yeah, other than that, like yeah. So are local friendly? Yes.
Somebody asked, did you need a SIM card? So I think we can both kind of go in there.
Yeah.
Yes, please get a SIM card. I'm gonna actually have a link down below for everything that I use, and I'm actually gonna link the SIM card that my brother sent me that I did not purchase because.
So if you guys have T-Mobile, there's a service that they give you that you can go out of the country, and it's called the high-speed service, and they give you that with what was the?
I think it was
10 or 15. It was 15, right?
No, because the one that I'm recommending them is 16.
16.
So I think it was 5.
That's right. It's 5G. I thought that was gonna be what would last me the whole trip. That shit only lasted me like 2 to 3 days, and I was like, wow, they really.
And it was kind of no. And the worst part was that Adrian paid extra to have it like faster. You know, I don't know how much it was. I don't know how much it was per person, but still, like it still like went off on him quick.
I think I paid $30
per person, right? Yeah, it was 30.
Yeah, I paid $30 for that. For it to last me only like 3 days.
Yeah. So then at one point, I ended up just using my Verizon one because my Verizon one was super fast. So if you have the budget to pay for it directly through your carrier and you have Verizon's actually really good. So I got it. So Verizon's actually $10 a day. So that's not convenient because it ends up being like $80 almost with taxes and everything. It's not convenient. My brother did send me a SIM card that I didn't order because I thought that the T-Mobile one was gonna be fine. And that SIM card's like about $10, and that SIM card actually, or $15, that SIM card actually lasts with you like forever. Like, so if you were to go to Europe in a year, you can still use it.
Yeah, her brother's phone was like literally active throughout the whole fucking trip. So yeah, definitely.
So I would say
recommend doing that. Yeah,
I would say to get one for sure. Okay, one of the next questions is going to be tips while in Europe and how and what to pack. Tips while in Europe, I would say bring a backpack. I think backpacks are very convenient. For girls, instead of a purse, because I wanted to take this cute purse for my outfits, and I know it would have made some cute outfit pics, but it's not worth it. Like nothing fits in here, and I think a backpack is so much more convenient. There's another question on here, but I'm gonna bring it up right now. Comfortable shoes, for sure, it's like a must if you're gonna be walking around like us. I did a lot of like essentials, so I did like one pair of jeans that look the same, one black jeans, like just like things that you can reuse and people won't notice that you're wearing the same clothes. You know, maybe a bunch of t-shirts so you can like have alternations. One big jacket, like that's it if you're gonna do like a carry-on. But another question, the last question is gonna be shoes, comfortable shoes and weather. Okay, so I actually only took one pair of shoes, and actually that was kind of crazy because usually I take a bunch of shoes, and that was my Sambas. Somebody said, I'm watching your video right now, did you regret taking your Sambas to walk everywhere? No, absolutely not. I think Sambas were one of the most comfortable shoes I took because I've been to other trips before, and every other shoe that I take, it's so uncomfortable. My Sambas were like, they were so cute first of all, so they went with every outfit. And on top of that, they were so comfortable, you know? What about you? Did you have comfortable shoes or you went more for the fashion?
No, I definitely took some comfortable shoes.
Yeah?
But yeah, no, definitely take some comfortable shoes, guys. I learned that lesson when we went to Tokyo because like we mentioned earlier, Tokyo we walked everywhere. In Tokyo, I didn't take comfortable shoes. I took like some nice, I took some nice shoes, and I thought it was gonna be like cool, I'm gonna look good. good. Now when you had all those ampollas in your legs when you get back home, with your foot when you get back home, it was so like,
your back hurts.
Man. My back, man, I've never walked so much. My back hurt.
Yeah, that was so bad.
Until that trip.
Yeah, because we wanted to be like, you know, fashionistas and stuff.
I know.
Tips for packing, skincare, and carry-on only. Okay, so the top tip that I would give you guys for this situation would be buy the little packs. Like, I know that sometimes you look at them, you're like, first of all, they're ugly. Second of all, like, I'm probably not gonna use them. Yes, you are. Buy those and just apply and just put like your regular size one into the little ones. And I feel like one, it's more convenient and it's way more affordable because I was the type that would always get the travel size items and it wouldn't even work out for me because I would, one, never use it again and it would go bad. Two, it was super expensive.
And for guys, honestly, what I recommend you guys is to get a girlfriend that packs all those stuff.
I'm fucking dead.
You're good.
How much did we spend? Oh shit. How much did we spend? I'm going to put a total. I'm gonna put the total right here because I didn't do the total right now. So I'm gonna put the total right here for you guys. I'm gonna put the exact amount. But if I'm being honest with you guys, as of what the math that I did, but it doesn't sound right. It came out to being about $2,000 to $3,000 total flights, Airbnb, transportation, everything.
Is that cash?
Oh.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
I don't remember if I included the clash, but it sounds like a little bit.
3 to 4.
Yeah, 3 to 4, but it's not a lot. Like, you don't need a lot. And I think, like I said, the most expensive thing is going to be your flights and your Airbnb. So I feel like within flights and Airbnb, you're going to spend a total of like $1,200 max if you're doing it the way that I'm telling you to do it.
The Airbnb, we got them last minute.
Yeah.
And there were some that we saw that were even cheaper. So we did fuck up there.
Somebody asked, how was the weather? The weather was actually
cold as
yeah, I was trying to figure out if it was like AF or it was like okay, but yeah, it was pretty cold, honestly.
Yeah, it was cold.
It was like about 35 degrees, 45 degrees, but it was fine. You know, I don't think it was like, oh my goodness, like I'm never going back in those dates. Like if we have to go back in those dates, I'm fine.
So we went like in the month of March. Yeah, early March. So just kind of give you guys an idea.
I do think that if you go in April, it's better because I went in April and I don't remember it being that cold. I don't remember it being that cold.
Yeah, but you were still wearing a jacket within that time.
I was.
So take a jacket.
It wasn't like oh like this, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, how did you book your trip and plan your outfits? How did I book my trip? Like I told you guys earlier, I went through Google. We looked up like flights to London, and that's how I got the flight in regards to flight. Main question that I wanted to get from here was your outfits. So this is a trick that I learned, and it was a trick that I learned the hard way because I did not want to do this. Is I actually put on my outfits and I packed them.
Is it? You got something right there.
So I've been having something right there.
No, you didn't have it before.
I actually tried on every single one of my outfits with the jewelry, with hairstyle, everything included, and I packed it like that. And it was honestly the best thing I could have done, and I took pictures of it because what this did is that once I was ready to wear that outfit, I would just look at my pictures and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear these jeans with that shirt and that's it, you know? So, and this is actually something Adrian would always do, and I would always be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like he'd always be like, hey, look, you like my outfit for this day? And I'm like, why you gotta do all that, you know? Please do it, guys. Please do it. It will save you everything, like time.
Obviously, when you guys have time, when you're sitting in your room not doing shit.
What I used to do is I used to plan the outfit in my head, and I would just throw the shirts and the pants, and then I was good. I never would try it on and everything like that, but I would recommend that 100%. Okay, this one was actually funny to me. Somebody said,
Very good.
just curious, is there a reason why people usually just pack a carry-on to Europe? Yes, there is a reason. Like I said, if you guys are backpacking like us, if you guys are going to be like going to multiple places, it's not convenient at all to check in an item. It's not at all. Even though me and Adrian were like fighting, like, oh, I really want to do a carry-on because it'd be,
I know, it'd be way easier.
It would be way easier. Like, you don't have to carry it on in the plane. Like, it's just so much more convenient, but it's not worth it because sometimes you have to wait like an hour for your maleta to get there, and then sometimes they lose it. Like, there's just so much to it that it's not even worth it. And just to note, if you guys are gonna be walking around going on the trains, you're gonna have a fucking maleta this big trying to walk around that whole little ass street because our streets are little, so it's not even worth to take it unless you guys are going the bougie route, you guys are getting an Uber, you guys are getting a hotel, then you're fine. But if you're gonna do it how we do it, it's not recommended at all. Did you go with the flow or planned itinerary?
We had a plan. What do you call it?
Itinerary.
Itinerary. What? How do you say it?
Itinerary.
How do you say it?
I don't know. Now I'm the fuck up. Itinerary.
Itinerary. Okay, we did have an itinerary. But it's always like one thing. It was like, on this day, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It was like, all right, whatever we find on the way there, then that would be like going with the flow. But it was like half and half.
I would recommend to have like somewhat of a structured itinerary where it's like, you kind of know what you're doing, but you're not super strict on it. You know, like because I feel like when you go too much with the flow, like you're like, oh, what do we do now? You know, like
I know it does suck.
You kind of gotta get an idea, you know. Last question that I have here is, she said, "I'm going to Europe this fall. What is something I should know about before going?"
Don't record in Amsterdam with your camera.
Oh, actually, a tip that I can give you guys about like traveling. My brother actually is the one that kind of put me on. My brother is like, he carries his little bag and he does not leave his passport for nothing. So my brother said, I'm gonna have my passport all the time with me, just in case that Airbnb gets broken into, just in case that hotel gets broken into.
But then again, be careful where you go. Make sure you have that passport in a nice, safe place, because of the pickpocketers, we don't know where they're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say if you guys are taking a backpack, every time you guys walk, just put it to the front, just to be safe. You know.
Hold on to it, like, because it gets packed it gets crowded in the traffic. Yeah. So I would just like, what I would do is like, I'd have my bag. And I would just literally just be like this, like just to kind of be chilling and hanging, but also to make sure ain't nobody, trying to get my shit either. I think somebody grabbed my ass too in the train.
You let them? Why don't you cover your ass?
I clenched it.
Oh, so they didn't go in there.
No. Thank God.
I would say one thing I would tell you guys, I would recommend though, is I would say buy tickets to places beforehand. For example, if you want to go to La Sagrada Familia, buy your ticket. If you want to go to a soccer game, buy your tickets, because my brother was very like nonchalant about everything. So that's the reason why we had a really hard time going to a soccer game. That's the reason why we didn't go to Sagrada Familia, because we didn't buy those two things. So I guess going back to going with the flow and itinerary, I would say purchase the tickets to wherever you're going with in advance.
There was no experience that we encountered where we're like, fuck, well, we're not doing that again, or shit. Like, I don't know, we were pretty spontaneous out there.
Yeah, I would say just going to Europe with an open mind. Like just go in there wanting to do everything. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to walk at night. That's pretty much all, guys. That's all the questions that I had. I hope that we answered all of your guys' questions, because I know these are all questions that we all have whenever we're about to travel, and sometimes you just don't find the vlog. So I hope that this vlog kind of went through every question that you guys have. If you guys have any other questions, just kind of put them down below and I'll probably just answer for you guys. I'll just call my back and I'll let you guys know.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know if you guys want to see more of this, the more mukbang things. I know it's been going on for a while, but it is our first time here on this channel. We did one on my channel, and that went pretty good too. But yeah, like I said, let us know. Put it down in the comments.
Hey guys.
All right, peace out.